Welcome to Sober Barkeep. I'm Brian Anderson, coming to you from Anderson's Guitar Bar here in lovely League City, Texas. I'm back. Spring party season's over. We're back from High Island, from Nine Oaks, and I need to kick it into gear here. I got a lot of stuff to review. So we're going to start with something that I've been excited to get, and I've seen this for quite a while. It's available over in Europe, over in the UK, and I finally was able to get a hold of some through WB Erie, and they don't have any online right now, but they do occasionally keep it because I was able to order it from there. So I thought it was kind of cool. This is Glen Dochus West Coast Blend. This is a non-alcoholic blended Scotch alternative. Now let's talk a little bit about Scotch. Scotch is made in Scotland, obviously, and this is a product of Scotland. It talks about fresh water and peat and malts. Scotch itself is malted barley. It's very strict with how it's made, with fresh spring water from parts of Scotland. And depending on where it's made, it can taste radically different. And there's two basic kind of Scotches. Single malt Scotch, which depending on where it's made is going to taste radically different, from a very peaty iodining seaside to kind of a smooth, less peaty, very hearty, more like a Macallan. And then you get some very radical, extremely peaty, extremely smoky, very iodining, which I really liked when I was drinking it. Then you get the blended Scotches, which is a blend of multiple different single malt Scotches. And the idea of a blended Scotch is that they pretty much always taste the same. Johnny Walker Red always tastes like a Johnny Walker Red. Johnny Walker Black always tastes like a Johnny Walker Black, depending on, no matter when you buy it. The same thing with like a Chivas Regal. These are blended Scotches. These are Scotches that are made differently. They're made distilled differently, and they do taste different. But it's still got a Scotch whiskey flavor to it, which is different than a bourbon. Some people really like Scotch, some people don't. So I've been excited about this because I really like Scotch. I really like single malts were my thing. I loved me some good single malt Scotches. So I've been very excited to get this, and I just wanted to see where this lay, because non-alcoholic whiskeys are difficult, plain and simple. So let's just take a look and see what they've done with this. First off, it looks perfect, and it's got the great look. And it's got a nose on it that's almost immediate as soon as you pull it, as soon as you pour it. What's interesting is I get a whiff of Scotch, plain and simple. But I also get a very interesting aroma here. And if anybody else has had this, I'd like to see your comments on this. To me, and I don't know how else to describe it, it's got almost like a bubblegum aroma to it. And bear with me. When you first open the old packs of baseball cards, the chunky little horrible stick of what they call bubblegum that came with those had a very distinct aroma to it. To me, when you first get the pass of this, you get some of that weird aroma to it. But it's also got a Scotch kind of aroma to it as well. It's very interesting. And again, your blended Scotches don't have nearly as complex of aroma, so it's not nearly as hard to nail. So let's take a taste of this. Most Scotch single malts are drank neat or on the rocks. Blended Scotches have a tendency to be drank more either with a soda or a little bit of water or on the rocks. Now try this. It's got a nice astringent, it's got the bitterness of a blended Scotch. It's got a really cool dryness to it that is really cool. I really like it. Very dry. It's also got that bubblegum kind of weird flavor to it that's there. But deep down, it's got a little bit of smokiness to it, like you would expect in a blended Scotch. It's not overpowering. It's not real heavy smoke, because blended Scotches typically don't have that. But it's got a very long lingering, and the longer it goes, that bubblegum flavor goes away, you really start feeling more and more of a Scotch like. Now it's not nailing it 100%. I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I don't want you to buy this and go, oh, Pete said it tasted just like blended Scotch. It doesn't. But it's got those building blocks that are there. So neat to me. Although it's got some really cool qualities to it. Neat's not the way. I've tried this a couple different ways, and I'll tell you the way I like it the most so far. And I want to try this with some ginger because it does recommend doing that on here, and see how that works. But I want to do it more traditional. I tried it with Scotch and soda. I'm not a big soda water fan, and it's not. I never really like Scotch and soda, so it's probably why. I mean, it was okay. No, knock it. And if you're Scotch and soda, you may like it this way, because once you add a little bit, and Scotch is very well known. Even the single malts, a few drops of water really will open up the flavors and the aromas on it. Just putting it in a little ice like this, to me, a lot of that bubblegum aroma is somewhat gone now. Now, when I taste it, I get more of the Scotch feel to it. It's still got that dryness which you would really expect in a Scotch or any whiskey. And I like that about this. It's still got just, I don't know what the funk is, but it's got this kind of little funky thing there. And I'm not sure what it is. But it's minimized on the rocks. It's minimized even more, actually, in Scotch and soda. I like this. If you were a blended Scotch aficionado, you may like this. And I would think it would be worth trying. I'm going to give this, and I've struggled with this, I'm going to give it a 4. Because of the incredible dryness and the long lingering aftertaste. And that's what I always liked about Scotch was taking a sip and then just enjoying it. And you can do that with this. There's some funk on that first forward piece of it that I wish wasn't there. But after a while, the lingering long aftertaste, I really like. So I'm going to give this a 4, and I'm going to keep playing with this. Who knows? This may show up on another episode here as a drink of the week, because I think it's got potential to have some cool cocktails with it as well. So, glad to be back. Sober Barkeep. Live well and drink smart.